You're watching I Know What You Watched Last Week, and on this episode, we go through 3 movies of one of the greatest subgenres of horror, the slasher, but they're all modern day. Do they still have it?
They absolutely do not have it.
I just want to give it away straight away.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I was so disappointed. We've actually been on quite a good run of having decent movies to review.
That's because we're not watching new ones.
Whereas, I think even in our description somewhere, I've written we mostly review terrible movies. And so this week we've delivered that because they were all awful.
What did we watch?
We started the week with Inauguration Day.
No.
No?
Founders Day.
Oh, Founders Day.
This is coming in repeat occurrence weekly. You'll get one word wrong in the title.
Yeah, just so that you can correct me and feel superior. Then we saw The Strangers Chapter 2.
Yes, Chapter 2, which is the 4th one in the series. It's Chapter 2.
Because that makes sense.
It's considered a standalone from the first 2. So
And-
it's starting again
Yeah.
with Chapter 1.
This one, the final one, I think I've got correct, even though I want to call it something else. The Ice Cream Truck.
Yeah, Ice Cream Truck.
It should have been Ice Cream Man.
I think there are already Ice Cream Man movies, plus Eli Roth is about to release Ice Cream Man as well. Yeah.
Will it be as good as this?
Who knows? Let's go with your rankings.
It was hard because I wish I could give them all third place.
They are all, deserving of a third place or bottom place finish, aren't they?
But I guess for the sake of our rankings, I'm going to say that my third place goes to The Strangers Chapter 2. My second place goes to The Ice Cream Truck. And my first place goes to Founders Day, not Inauguration Day.
When we started the week, we watched the first movie, Founders Day. I watched it the day before you, then I watched it with you. And I was like, there's no way that this isn't coming bottom. But life is full of surprises. And
I can't even believe that you watched it twice.
I've got it in the same order as you. So Founders Day, bottom, Strangers Chapter 2. Second place, Ice Cream Truck. And top is Founders Day. So we're going to start with the offering from 2025, directed once again by Rennie Harlin, who's been employed to direct all 3 chapters of the New Strangers chapter. And it picks up right where Chapter 1 left off, which we have seen. I don't know if you recall that film.
They're all the same
It was
to me.
abysmal,
Yeah.
but not quite as abysmal as this. I barely got through it. We've watched over 300 movies doing this. And I'm trying to recall any other time where I'm just getting up and milling about. I'm going to make some popcorn. I'm going to get a drink. I'm going to do whatever just to get away from the television so that I don't have to be filled in with all this rubbish.
Yeah, was one of the Strangers movies the one where they're in like a camper van type thing?
They could well be in a camper van site somewhere in the first one. I believe in Chapter 1. I believe that's what happens.
Because in that case, that was the best of the Strangers ones we've seen.
They wear the same masks.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was that one.
Well, you've only seen this and Chapter 1. You haven't seen the first one, which is from I think 2008.
Oh, I really thought I'd seen it.
Had Liv Tyler in it.
3 now. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, this one was terrible. And as you said, because we kick off straight from where the first one ends,
Yeah, Maya, the survivor girl from the first one, is pick up where she left off.
we start the same level of tension, if you want to even say that.
So zero tension.
From the start of the
Zero
movie
tension.
all the way through. So there's no highs or lows. It's just what they assume is constant tension, but actually ends up being none at all.
I'm pretty sure in every Strangers movie, the question is asked by a potential victim, why are you doing this? And, I've got to ask the same of just these films. Like, why are you doing this? Why are you making the same film 3 times? I haven't seen Chapter 3. There is no way in hell I'll be watching Chapter 3 after being, put through this.
I also don't really understand.
They're identical films pretty much as well.
Because in this one, we get what I assume is supposed to be some kind of backstory for
The Strangers.
the title and the point of these movies. And it's saying about stats of how many Americans are killed each year by strangers.
They've given those stats in the previous movies as
Oh, they
well.
did?
Yeah, it's the whole point. It's the whole point of the movie, but this is the antithesis of Strangers, isn't it? But we start off in this, and Maya's woken up in hospital. she is informed by the doctor who's off screen that her fiance has lost too much blood and he's dead. And then he introduces himself. I am Dr. Taint. Dr. Taint is here to look after Maya.
I thought
That's
was
what
just
I heard.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm
Dr.
pretty sure
Taint.
it's not
Did you hear
that.
Dr. Taint?
No.
I'm going with Dr. Taint. Dr. Taint's here.
Pretty sure it's Dr. Tate.
No, I'm going with Taint. So she gets a call, right? And it's the strangers, and they're asking Maya, "Where's Tamara? Who's Tamara?"
Who is
We can
Tamara?
then get the first of many flashbacks. So Maya's in the hospital, as we just said. Now we get a flashback. A little girl in a playground. She's in the sand pit. She's making sandcastles. A bully comes over and tramples her sandcastles. So to comfort herself, she gets out a doll, starts stroking it, and the doll has the mask of Dollface, the character from Strangers, the girl face one.
So stupid.
And she's taken a liking to the bully boy, who I think might end up being smiley face tattoo neck guy. Possibly.
But also, I should mention that with this flashback, we see it from... We've just been in the diner in present day, and the cops are being all loudmouth about how there's a survivor.
Richard Brake is one of the cops.
And they're at the diner just basically telling everyone willy-nilly that there's, like, one of the victims survived. She's currently in the hospital. And watching over all of this, whilst having her break, is one of the waitresses. And it's clearly... It goes straight from her face to this flashback, so it's obvious that they're her flashbacks.
Okay. Back at the hostel with Maya, she gets another call. Where's Tamara? Who's Tamara? Then there's some commotion, some noises. The strangers have arrived. So after the strangers arrive in the dark hospital, there's just lots of skulking around for Maya for ages. And the scene goes on forever. No dialogue, no real story going on, just a stalking scene. I call it stalking, but it's so lacking in energy.
Yeah.
That the whole movie is lacking in energy. That was my overall riding feeling about the entire thing. Zero energy, and really I was trying to work out why this movie is so devoid of energy, and one of the things was also incredibly boring editing. I barely notice editing most of the time watching films, and you shouldn't do. It should be kind of seamless. Yeah. Even in bad movies, it's never something that I normally pick up, but in this I was like, wow, the editing is absolutely terrible. The music is also terrible in this film. So this stalking scene just goes on forever, and she's walking around. It must be at least 10 minutes of nothing, and she ends up hiding in like a locker or something. One of the cleaners comes out and the stranger axes him in her head, and wouldn't you know it, she's hidden in one of those morgue drawers where you keep dead bodies, because where can we hide in morgues
the corpse
in the hospital?
of her ex-fiance, well, dead fiance.
Yeah. And it's cat and mouse game, like I said, just goes on forever. And I've read, I've already said, no dialogue, barely any story, no tension, despite the overlong stalking scene that this is, and completely lacking energy, just no style, nothing. It's completely horrible, and there are probably reasons behind that, which I'll mention in a little bit. And Maya's walking through horse stables now, and when she walks through the horse stables being stalked, she gets out onto the road and she's picked up, and she gets into a car with two girls. And the girls lock the door. Maya starts freaking out, really freaking out, shrieking to the top of her voice, kicking the window, trying to open the door frantically. And the two girls, one of them says, "Oh, we're just going to take you home and clean your wound." And then she goes, "Okay, your house." How have you gone from 100 miles per hour kicking and screaming to just that?
So I know that the lead in this really annoyed you, because you said as much whilst we were watching it.
Terrible.
But she wasn't too annoying for me yet, even though I was questioning some of the choices. But at this point, I just got so annoyed. So the two girls that you mentioned who pick her up, one of them is her nurse, who's been caring for her at the hospital, and the other one, I believe, is like her girlfriend or something, who's from the army. And the reason that our main girl is getting so worked up is because she seems to be having like little visions as if they're the masked killers. Yep. But it was really obvious that they weren't. The only thing that was strange, though, again, this movie does this so many times, but it starts with this one. The girlfriend takes out a knife and is, like, playing with a knife in her view. And I was like, you know that this girl's just been through the trauma of an attack. She's got knife wounds, which is why she needs to be cleaned up. And you're just there like, look at this knife I've got.
Maybe she's trying to get her over a trauma by just exposing her to it. When they start driving away in this car, once Maya's calmed down, they quickly come across two lads in the road. They get in the car as well. It turns out they're the roommates of the two girls. Yeah,
so stupid.
It's now at this point where you just mentioned Maya starts having visions of all the people in the car wearing the strangers' masks. So she bails and she falls down in the woods with these people in pursuit of her with torches and stuff.
But also, when the two guys get in the car, we've again got this ridiculous performance, because one of them, the one that you mentioned, he's got a tattoo on
Smiley
his
face.
neck. He's being so obviously, look at me, I'm the bad guy, that it was just annoying.
So it wasn't a natural performance.
Again, she's clearly terrified. She's sitting between two strange men, and he's just there like...
Maybe he fancies her. Men aren't very vocal, are they?
Stupid.
So yeah, he's just giving her the come on. Maya, like I said, she's gone into the woods, she's fallen down, and somehow she's ripped open her stomach. Did she get stabbed earlier on
Yeah,
in
she's
the
got stab
stalking?
wounds.
And she starts now stitching herself up, and this is where I was done with her. It was just horrible to watch. I don't mean, I can't watch it. I mean, she was just annoying. Incredibly annoying. Another terrible, girl boss, final girl.
Yeah, I mean, all her choices up to now have just been very frustrating.
Now she's stitched herself up, though. She's up and walking around again and making fires and stuff. And so I've mentioned her, right, so we've got Smiley Face Guy, just mentioned his performance, right, trying to act surly and stuff.
Yes.
The two girls later on, I can't stand them either with their performance. I can't stand Maya's performance. And there are probably reasons for this. So this is such a cynical trilogy of films. So they got Rennie Harlin just signed to direct all three. They're directing all three simultaneously, all at the same time. So the producers thought it'd be a good idea. They're boasting about this. They're like, oh yeah, in the morning we'd shoot scenes for chapter 1. Then in the afternoon we'd shoot scenes for chapter 2. And then, in the nighttime we'd shoot scenes for chapter 3. And then the next day, if it suited us, we'd shoot scenes for chapter 2 in the morning, and vice versa and vice versa. So instead of it being an acting performance, all you've got here is a checklist to check off in a certain amount of time to make sure it's done. Because how are you supposed to get into the role, into the character, into your feelings, if you're chopping and changing every day in between 3 different movies where the timeline is completely different?
Actually, that explains a lot, because...
So it might not be her fault. It might not be any of theirs fault.
Yeah, because the first time we saw her, I mean, it was a bit bizarre, but I bought her sadness at the boyfriend or fiancé being dead.
You can buy certain things, but the performance is still terrible.
Yeah, but also I was saying that it was more her choices that I thought were horrible. And now that you've said that, it makes so much more sense. Because obviously, how's she supposed to remember then between all three? There were times when I was like, well, she's forgotten she's on death's door with a stab wound. She's forgotten in this one that she's just been told her fiancé is dead. She's forgotten in this one, like, just all these choices that made no sense acting-wise. So, yeah, maybe she's not the bad actress. Maybe it was just terrible direction.
Unfortunately, Rennie Harlin is now just a paycheck director. This is the director of Die Hard 2, Nightmare on Elm Street 4, some other good stuff in there as well. But pretty much since, or possibly before, the Dyatlov Pass incident. Remember we watched that film? Dyatlov Pass incident. Yeah, he did that one as well. And Cutthroat Island back in the day, which was like a huge, big budget bomb. But it was still big time then. At this point in the film, I was ready just to stop taking notes because I just didn't care. Like, it wasn't worth my time. But then, out of nowhere, stiffen your wombats. It's a CGI hog, a boar. CGI boar comes out of the woods and just starts attacking Maya.
This is so stupid. Because
Did the producers come up with this as well? What we need to fill out our film? Hog attack.
She runs into some like car. It won't run, but it's protection, and the hog is just headbutting the car so that it's shaking and glass is breaking and all of this. But at this point, I was like, well, it's obviously got to be some kind of animal they're going to show us because the way the car is moving and stuff. But even so,
to give it its credit,
God.
It did put me back into my notes. Got to write about the CGI boar.
But then the dumb thing was, I was like, why is she not just staying in the car? Because it's going to tire itself out and leave, and you'll be mostly fine. But she decides to get out of the car so that we as an audience get to see CGI hog chomping on various parts of her body.
It's more like before it starts chomping, Rennie's behind the camera, and he's like, right, it's hog time. Maya, the hog is butting you. Maya, the hog is gently sniffing your neck. Maya, the hog's biting you. Cut, we got it. And because she's just fighting nothing.
It's so stupid. And also, I know
it goes on forever as well, like everything else in this film.
And it's also, as I said, when it's jumping on her, like, destroyed her.
Mm-hmm.
Which she soon forgets.
Because it starts biting her leg really, really harsh, as you say, but she batters it with a firing stick. Gets it away, then I think it charges at her and she impales it. And that's the end of the CGI hog after 10 minutes. How long can he draw out a CGI boar attack? Quite long, apparently.
What a bizarre choice.
If it wasn't enough that there's a rogue hog in the woods, now the strangers are in the woods. They're walking around, they're staring at stuff. You know, because when he just showed the stranger standing still with no emotion, just looking at stuff blankly into the ether, that's chilling. Now, if it wasn't enough hog already, we now get the backstory to the hog and why the strangers are in the woods at the same time as the hog. So we're going back in time. The kids are there again, and this is the forming of the alliance of the strangers. It should, this is the antithesis of what strangers are. This would really be called, the childhood acquaintances. That would be more appropriate for this film. And the bully boy comes up to the girl, I believe, who's been stroking the doll face, and they've got hogs in a pen, and he's like, I can train and control hogs. So that's what's happening in the future. This is his pet boar, and he's set it, and he's like, right, you're going to go and sniff her, you're going to go and butt her, and you're going to go and bite her.
Yeah.
Kid can train a hog.
Destroy her, my hog.
That was one hell of a flashback. Maya now comes to a house, so she's like been in the hospital, been to horse stables, been on the road, been in the woods. Now she's in the house, and she scoffs loads of food and water, which again just made me hate her. She's like the hog now. Maybe she's been inserted with hog genes after being bitten.
Supposedly
and guess
been in the woods
what?
for days,
The strangers are coming to the house as well. But oh no, wait, it's just a fake out and the cop's there. So the cop takes her outside, puts her in the car. He quickly gets shot.
By a crossbolt.
She's driving away, and you know what? She ends up at another house. Now, this movie was made for $8.5 million. Why do you need $8.5 million to shoot a woman walking through the woods and various other places?
The hog.
The CGI hog, and probably Rennie Harlin. That's probably why. Gunnar Hansen did this thing in about 300k, and he did it infinitely better. I'm talking about Texas Chainsaw Massacre, obviously. Gunnar Hansen, no, Toby Hooper. Gunnar Hansen plays Leatherface. 300 grand, which would probably be about still under $1 million today. This is apparently the same genre as Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Halloween and Scream.
They're
Psycho.
comparable.
Yeah. When she's in this house, she gets in her underwear, and I'm still not warming to her. That's how far gone I am, right? And it's the same shit. She's looking around the house, and it turns out this house is the roommate's place, the two girls and the two lads who are in the car with her.
The nurse and the friends,
And she walks into Smiley Face Man, who's now been drinking, so he's drunk surly.
Oh,
Did you like this performance?
no. It was so
He's
annoying.
being intimidating.
He's being a dick.
Now the girl roommates come, and they start being nice to her. But again, probably while throwing knives in her face and stuff like that. To keep her just a little bit on edge.
Also, again, from her, I'm like, why the hell have you still got this thing that they are the ones trying to kill you? Because you literally woke up, like you said, in her underwear, but all of her wounds, including the new ones from the boar, have been cleaned and properly stitched up because the woman is her nurse.
Yeah, so she's 100% now.
Yeah, but it's not like they're going to do that and then be like, okay, now let's stab her.
She's wandering around upstairs, and out the window, I think she sees like the two girls or the two boys leave. Then all of a sudden, she turns around to leave this bedroom, and behind her is the doll-faced stranger, and it starts singing a nursery rhyme to her. Rockabye Baby. Because, nursery rhymes in horror are always chilling. It hasn't been done to death at all, has it? This is tantamount to digging up that corpse and just stooping it. This nursery rhyme scene. The Rockabye Baby nursery rhyme was the last thing I could take. I then did stop taking notes, even though there's probably about 15 minutes to go of it. I've just written, this isn't what Strangers started off as, right? It was a home invasion film. I don't think you've seen it, but home invasion film, I thought it was fine, not great. I've never gone back to it more than twice. Other movies which are home invasion, like Funny Games, again, it's kind of lauded, but I didn't think it was very good. Then you got the reverse home invasion of Last House on the Left, which the original, again, I think is quite overrated. And you've also got Vacancy, which I probably think is the best one, because really there's not a lot you can do with home invasion, is there? It all ends in the same way. It always ends in the same way. All those films end exactly the same. Yeah. So like I said, there's no soul to this film. Nothing's been thought about. I already mentioned the music and the editing and things. Also, the wardrobe is just terrible. You can't tell anyone apart. You can't tell the characters apart anyway. But when you put them all in identical outfits, it's like, who's this? Oh, we've got to show off the tattoo and make him be really drunk to kind of tell anyone apart. And yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to say about it.
It also takes away from it, like I said, with knowing who at least one of the masked people is. Like, why did we need to know that from the start? And why did we need to give him some kind of backstory? Like you said, it's complete opposite of Strangers. But we get the reason why is Tamara there? Because the little girl in her flashback with the boy, there's another little girl, bit of a bitchy blondie, and she kisses the boy and is like, let's do it again. So she goes into this little cabin thing, expecting him to knock so she can open the door and kiss him again. But when she opens the door, it's the little dark-haired one who's been raising pigs with him. And she's like, is Tamara there? Yeah.
This film was abysmal.
And then the two kids, as in the boy and the girl, just sit happily.
Absolutely terrible film. Just beyond shit. Deserving of 0 out of 10. Number 2 for both of us was The Ice Cream Truck. So what I thought I was just going to get here, you know, it's going to be a low-rent slasher with a maniacal ice cream man who's going to kill people in fun/interesting ways. But boy, was I wrong.
My God, this was, I mean, actually somewhat entertaining in the idiocy.
In the idiocy, yeah.
It was insane.
Look, this film, The Ice Cream Truck, is a middle-aged woman's fantasy. Okay, like
with just a random killer thrown in.
Fantasize away all you want. Like, you know, I like to look at naked women. I have done all my life, but I'm not gonna make a movie about it because nobody cares. So the next time you get a little tingle down there, writer director lady, just go to one of your besties and tell her you want to fuck the gardener, because no good can come from you having a film camera. This film is total evidence of that.
Or just stick with the genre, make the film you want to see without the random, completely out of place killer.
Then she won't be able to sell her film, because guess what? 50 Shades is over, alright? So what can I sell? Oh yeah, a horror film. So I'm just going to insert an ice cream man into my middle-aged lady's horror erotica.
Yeah, especially given the ending when we get there.
Mary, our main character, she's new to the neighborhood. She's moving to a new house. Her family are away while she's moving in, and she meets the new Desperate Housewives type neighbors of her new town.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's invited to a graduation party of one of the sons of one of the Desperate Housewives.
Their performances, by the way, was so ridiculously over the top.
Yeah, you know, movies, music, all that stuff is a look into the person's soul. So this is her. You can tell that that lady director is one of these, because she's at home frigging herself still to 50 Shades of Grey. She's either not getting it at home, or she's just like predatorily going after young men. That's what I've got from her. After meeting the first neighbour, so she's introduced to all three. Like I said, they invite to this graduation party. Just before then, we'd seen her. She has a mover come round.
Yeah.
I believe the name of the guy's Jeffrey Dean Morgan, possibly. Guy with the walrus moustache.
Yeah.
He's in Rob Zombie movies. And he's a bit of a perv somewhat, isn't he?
Well,
an intimidating perv. And once again, I've seen him in movies before. He's been, you know, perfectly fine. It just made him look terrible. I'm not sure if it was the script or just the shot composition, or just maybe everything, the direction, especially when he really freaks her out and she looks at him like, no, can you just like get out now? And that's another thing. When she talks, she's like constantly asking herself questions. Like, she doesn't speak properly. She doesn't like make facts. My name is Mary. My name is Mary is what she'll say. And this is apparent in the first conversation she has when that little boy sprays with a hose and she talks to her mum. And also the mum is talking back to her like that too. It's just fucking not.
But yeah, when this guy comes over the mover, he's being super duper weird, again, way over the top weird.
Yeah.
And she doesn't really seem to react much, but also, after telling him to just go ahead and bring the stuff in, she goes into her room, not a bathroom or anything, doesn't lock the door, and proceeds to take her top off to change, and then is shocked when he walks into the room. I'm like, well, that's kind of on you.
Well, as I've already said, this is not a horror film. This is the white writer-director, this middle-aged woman's fantasy. So, of course...
Ooh, the moving guy.
What's dangerous? Ooh, being home alone with a white-collar worker while my husband's away. Haven't mentioned it yet, but Mary, the main girl, she's also mentioned in these conversations that she is a freelance writer. So she is a writer. So she's on the way to this graduation party now. As she's walking down the road, two teens pass by. One of the teens, Max, it's his party. It's his graduation party because he's just graduated high school. And as she walks past, she asks, "Is this the house of the graduation party?" He's like, "Yeah, it's my party." And she's like, "Oh, da-da-da-da-da." Like, "Hey, you want to come smoke a doob?" And she's like, "Okay." And they go and smoke a doob. She has one puff and coughs up, didn't she? She's out of practice. After this one puff of doobie, she walks off to the party, and we're introduced again to the Desperate Housewives. And she had one puff of this doobie, and she is completely dishevelled. Her hair is in disarray. She's got a glazed over look in her eye. She's just staring into the distance. Her posture's off.
But also,
there must be some strong weed.
The guy and his girlfriend, they're like, "Oh, she's cool. Yeah, she's cool." And she wanders off high off a kite.
Yeah, and she went to the same school as these two previously. She's like, "Say hello to teacher so-and-so for me."
Oh my god, you don't seem like an adult.
No. When Mary is back into this party, a dishevelled mess after that one toke, she comes across three Desperate Housewives and they ask her what she wants to drink. And after a bit of and ahhing, she's like, "F it. Vodka tonic!" Like, VODKAHTAHNIC. Tonic! Vodka tonic! This is a look into the soul of the right director here. So she's going to get her... This is so Sex in the City, isn't it? She's such a Samantha.
Yeah, we've been told that she had her first kid super young. So she like...
And she's been divorced already.
I know, she's on her second marriage, and the second baby daddy. And she was like, "Oh yeah, I missed all my childhood. I haven't spent a single day without my kids since they were born." So this is her, with her days when they're not around, just to let loose. This is what she's doing. She's like, "Yeah, I'm going to smoke a doobie, I'm going to have some vodka tonic, and, party on down at some random boy's high school graduation party."
That young whippersnapper, Max, he's called back in by his father. He's like, "It's your graduation party, you've got to come in and blow out the candles on your cake." So Max comes in and does this. After he's finished with that, he walks up to Mary and he's like, "Having fun," kind of thing. He starts to lay it on. This is the first time he lays it on. Meanwhile, Max's girlfriend's been left outside by herself and she has stupidly run after the ice cream truck.
Well, she has just smoked a doobie.
Yeah, she's like, "Hey, wait!"
Ice cream? That sounds amazing.
To be fair, it is quite realistic, but what's unrealistic is an ice cream truck driving around at 11 p.m. at night when everyone's probably sleeping. And she takes far too long to pick her flavour of ice cream.
I don't really eat ice cream.
So the ice cream man gets bored of this and just offs her. The ice cream man's really intimidating and scary as well, isn't he?
Having worked in customer service type roles, I can say there are moments I would have very much have liked to do the same. So, kind of get it.
When Max is at his conversation with Mary again, the neighbour comes up and she's like, "Oh, if you ever decide to cheat, now's the time." And Mary says, "I actually have a really good vibrator." Because this is girl talk, isn't it? The right director, she's out there with her besties and she's talking about vibrators.
No, but then...
And oh my god, my husband was away and I've been casting this super hot guy in the lead of my new movie. I might fuck him. Another vodka tonic.
That was a little bit scary, actually. You did that really well.
I'm thinking about this a lot. I've seen pictures of the director. I'm going to get her name up.
But
Megan Friels Johnson.
Megan Fields Johnson.
Yeah, and that's what she wants to do.
But also, when she says that thing about the vibrator, the Desperate Housewife is like a bit shocked. And I was like, well, that's not realistic. And also, Megan Fields Johnson is clearly trying to insinuate just how cool and young and rebellious our main character Laura is.
Laura?
Didn't you say Laura?
Mary.
Oh, Mary.
Yeah, who's Laura?
Our main character Mary is.
Yeah.
Maybe I just smoked a toke.
During this conversation between Max and Mary, he's like, "Have you seen Tracy?" Obviously, we know that she's just been killed by the ice cream man. Then a sleazy pimp oozing machismo from the party comes up and makes his move on Mary. It's like Razor Ramon. I am oozing machismo. And, this is again... Miss Friels Johnson, She's like, oh yeah, young men showing me attention, I love that. But old past it pervs, no thank you. And this is put in your face in this scene.
But it's also, compounding that idea that Mary is just irresistible to any age. Because this is like the third guy in as many characters we've met that have hit on her.
Yes. Because, Miss Phils Johnson, she's also a writer like Mary in the movie. Mary also found a bobby pin on the floor, didn't she? I think
she's on a run and
supposed to be
found it.
Tracy's, possibly. And yeah, she's on this run and she stops off to talk to Max's mum, 18-year-old Max. And
who's also peeked them out at the party having a chat, and she was like,
yeah,
what's going on there?
A few of the
Because
housewives are seen.
even though we haven't actually mentioned it, 18-year-old Max is really more like, 36?
Maybe 43. I would go as old as 43, because consider actors in Hollywood, when they get to the 40s, they can still look reasonably young, but you can tell they're still in their 40s. This is this guy.
So 18-year-old Max
he's not 18.
has been haggard by his weed smoking.
What has gone on in the casting direction there? It makes me ask a question.
Well,
Has he had to fuck the director?
They couldn't.
This is still Hollywood.
They couldn't actually cast an 18-year-old to be getting it on with like older women.
Well, I guess they could, but Phils Johnson doesn't want to do that.
And maybe she just got so carried away with his emo hairstyle that she just couldn't resist. And oh my god, his performance as well.
What you mean his pull on sultry low voice in everything that he says?
Is him trying to be...
I thought it was sexy.
The director's...
I thought it was sexy.
Oh.
The conversation that she's having with Max's mum, they tried to make it weird, didn't they? Because Mary will say stuff and then Max's mum will just stare at her blankly. And you can tell what they're trying to do, but it just does not land at all. And also, if it's just two people talking and you're just cutting in between them, why is the camera constantly moving like this? What is going on? Maybe she had too many Chablis.
Well, Mary's trying to get the employment of the woman's son, Max,
yeah, because
and
Max
his mates to garden.
tends yards.
And obviously his mum, having seen them speaking at the party, already seems to think that something's going to happen there. Maybe Max has a history of going for the new women on the block.
Also, after Max offered Mary the doobie, he's then, anytime he wants some, he can get it from me. He's selling it, isn't he?
He's a
selling
dealer.
the weed. Yeah, so that's why he's a gardener. So he is employed. Max brings his friends, Nick and Joe. They come to tend the yard. He's like, hey, I came to tend your yard. Then he brings out the baggie of weed. She's like, oh, no, I actually brought you here to do my yard? And he's like, oh, sorry. So she takes him outside and she's like, I don't actually know what I want you to do.
So annoying again. It's like, no wonder the woman thinks you're dodgy, because you've just hired them and you're like, there's not much to do. It's like, yeah, that's why you hired 3 18-year-old boys, who, by the way, showed up like they're in some kind of scene from Twilight.
Yeah.
Just like flanking each other with their like sultry stares whilst we get a good long shot lingering on them.
What you can tell is the director, she's seen one horror movie, because she knows there's a killer in it, right? She's seen 50 Shades of Grey, and she's also seen Twilight, and she's merged.
And by the way, we've gotten
together.
this far into the movie with just the one ice cream truck incident.
Yeah, sometimes he's around in the background just driving by, but that's about it. Nick, one of the gardeners who Max has bought, he gets a text message and it's about ass. And he's like, I've got a bail, I need to get some ass, pretty much verbatim. And as he's walking off, going to get this ass, he's approached by the ice cream man. And the ice cream man is like, would you like pralines and cream? Because he's creepy, isn't he? He doesn't look like an 18-year-old Justin Timberlake who you just slap in the face and tell him to shut up and he'll listen to you. Doesn't he? He is not scary. So the guy who's gone off to get this ass, Nick, I think I said his name was, he orders 2 chocolate ice creams and says, like, keep the change, walks into the house where this ass is, gives her some ice cream, he sits on the couch, she gets on top of him, gives him a boner, but then there's a doorbell, the doorbell goes off. It's the ice cream man. He comes in and he stabs them both.
Yeah, he does.
That'll teach him to get the boner.
Basically, he's like, any person who wants ice cream deserves to die. But, do you know, I had a really, like, random pet peeve throughout this film as well, which was that every time the ice cream man was serving any cones or whatever, his, like, technique for scooping...
You didn't buy it?
...was so bizarre. And, like, when he went to put the ball, you know, you've got the clicker thing, so it comes out, and he was there just like thumbing it out onto the thing. And also, the ice cream looked really melted, which is, I hate like the idea of, like when that girl jumps on top of her boyfriend, they both got an ice cream cone in their hand. I was like, you're going to get chocolate ice cream all over that sofa.
What was a more convincing performance? Was it the ice cream man scooping ice cream, or is it Steven Seagal in Under Siege as a cook chopping onions?
Definitely Steven Seagal.
Then Steven Seagal wins over. He's more convincing. Okay, Steven Seagal is undefeated. Max is shirtless now.
Ooh,
He's shirtless at the garden.
finally.
And for some reason, his nipples are hanging off the side of his torso. Yeah, they're all the way over there. At the moment, Mary doesn't seem to care about this topless shenanigans. So they all clear off. She's ordered some takeaway. The food gets delivered. Before she can open it, ding dong, Max is here. After a to-in and throw-in, she's like, eventually lets him in. Because at first she's like, I don't think it's a good idea if you come in.
That's
Maybe
like
you
her
shouldn't come in.
catchphrase. I don't think that's a good idea.
I don't think it's a good idea. But eventually she thinks it might be a good idea. So she lets him in.
Well, he's got pot.
She offers him. She doesn't know this yet, does she? All right.
Yeah.
Either way, she lets him in. And then she's like, would you like some vodka or gin or whiskey? And she's like, oh, wait a minute. You're only 18. I can't be offering you booze. Let's just smoke some pot. Is that responsible? Is that responsible adult behaviour for a guy who's just graduated high school? Last night he was blowing out candles on a cake. And now you're pushing him to do drugs.
Well, he is her dealer, and she paid for it. But yeah, really bizarre. This character has the weirdest moral compass, and is also just
What, the stupid wife?
Mary.
Yeah.
She's also just, as you said, stupid. Like,
Yeah.
what kind of adult woman, I don't care how young you had your first kid, you're an adult woman at this point, is always just saying, I don't think that's a good idea.
Well,
when it's a terrible fucking idea, and it's going to ruin everything. She's new to the place. She's going to, like... Yeah, enough said.
It's
Get
Friels
it.
Johnson, though, isn't it? We know what to expect from Friels Johnson's illicit writing. It's sexy. So talking of sexy, Max hands her a pot. She thinks he's about to leave. When instead he stands up, gets his phone out, and he goes, I love this song. And she goes, you're bad. And he goes, am I?
This performance is so cringe-inducing.
She takes his
It's
hand
horrendous.
and he does one spin into his arms. And she's like, I don't think this is a good idea.
No, she goes, I think you're too young to know moves like that. Am I?
Does he say, am I again?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then he also says, I was raised on Dancing with the Stars.
Oh, yeah, and he says it with a straight face. If you'd have
Ooh.
taken me out and be like, I was raised on Dancing with the
Yeah.
Stars, I would have just cackled in your
This
face.
is Megan Friels Johnson. This is what she likes
This
in
is
a
what
man.
she wants.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a man that she can sit
She probably
with.
watches Dancing with the
and watch
Stars and is like,
Dancing
I
with the Stars.
wish I had an 18-year-old hunk who could smoulder and dance with me.
Ooh. After Mary knocks his dance on the head, she goes close to the front door. She's standing against the wall. As Max is about to leave, he's walking past her, he stops and he goes, Mary, Mary, quite contrary. And then just keeps on walking towards the front door and he's out of here. What a line.
I mean, it got me a bit wet, so...
Got me hard.
Oh, it's awful.
Yeah, but do you know what? She's back to her takeout, and what is another knock at the door? It's Max again. He should have left it at Mary quite contrary, couldn't he? And
Yeah, he had his, like, great final word, and then was just like, actually, wait, it's me again.
and he's just asking stupid things. He's like, maybe I didn't get your number. And she's like, I don't think
it's
that's
a
a
good
good
idea.
idea. And he's like, well, I can either call or text before I show up at your door, or I could just show up. So he's befuddled her there, and she's like,
Yeah,
okay,
okay.
here's my number. And
18-year-old boy.
This is also listed because Mary Friel or Megan Friels Johnson is multi-talented. This is not just a horror; it's also a comedy. She's listed it. This is a horror comedy. So when Mary gives Max her number, he's like, "What kind of fucking number is this? There's not even any repetition." And she's like, "Good night, Max," because that was a funny moment. There's no repetition in your phone number. Oh, I bet the girls laughed about that at lunch, didn't they?
Oh my god, her phone number is not going to have any
Yeah.
repetition. It's going to be so funny.
So he's been to the doorbell twice now. He comes back another time, rings the doorbell. We see him again. She gets back to her takeaway, which is like the worst takeaway in existence. The doorbell goes again, and I said to you, it's either going to be the ice cream man or no one. It's no one, isn't it? You can just predict every single point of this film.
Ding dong dash.
Guess what? The next day, Mary can fit into her denim shorts from her high school days. Oh my god! And now she's reading a magazine on a sofa, kicking her legs. And wouldn't you know it, there's a text from Max. Can I see you before your family gets here? That's a bit ominous, isn't it? And she's like, no, I don't think that's a good idea. And he's like, oh, come on, Mary. This might be the only chance we get. And she's about to reject him again, but he's like, meet me at so-and-so park at so-and-so time. And then she's in the mirror getting all dolled up, isn't she? Looking down at her hot denim jeans that she can fit into again.
Are we supposed to sympathise with this character? Because
don't
she's
know.
got 2 kids, she's got a husband, and she's just like, well, I mean, I don't think it's a good idea, but okay, I'll fuck you.
We also have a shot of her taking off her wedding ring. Ooh, Frills Johnson, this is naughty.
But to be fair, I was glad when she put the
She's lit
jeans
me
shorts
up.
on, because those mum shorts she's been wearing
Yeah,
in the rest of the movie
terrible.
are horrendous.
Yeah, but what about I want to see you before your family gets here?
Shouldn't that be enough to remind you, oh yeah, shit, I've got a family. Maybe I shouldn't see this 18-year-old boy. And even if she was single, like, what kind of vibe is she putting out there to these desperate housewives that, like, I'm gonna fuck your sons?
You know, in these women who lunch, like Frills Johnson, you know, they like a bit of erotica. They also like sweet stuff, so that's why the ice cream man is in here, isn't it? She likes sweets. Sweets and hunks.
Sex and ice cream.
Yeah. Ice cream and cock. Young cock.
Cock a la mode.
Cock a la mode. Mary arrives at the park to meet Max. The ice cream man's there. Ice cream man approaches them, looking for something sweet tonight. They're kind of like, no, but he's like, how about a shake? Don't tell me. You're a vanilla girl, aren't you? She takes offense at this because there's subtext to it, and goes, but tonight you're looking for something a little more illicit. Ooh, because she's
Am
with
I
Max.
right?
So she goes for the shake, doesn't she? They walk off. Max and Mary are standing around like a fairground or something, and she is innocently sucking on her shake while he lights a doobie and says, how's the shake? Can I have a sip?
You can kill it.
You can kill it. Yeah, because this is like how you act when you're 18 in high school.
When you're 34.
Yeah.
LARPing as a teenager.
At the least. This guy could be a predator. You know, how was he in high school?
I was also just shocked that she was like, yeah, I'm about to do something which should be setting my nerves completely on edge. But yeah, a good vanilla milkshake from a random guy who creeps me out sounds like a great idea.
From the first time we saw Max in this film, I said to you, is Max going to bone Mary? You said no. I said absolutely. And now the point has come because she's high on sugar from that shake and the one puff. Next thing you know, they're boning. And Mary Frills Johnson, what does she want to focus on? Max's bare ass going up and down. Frills Johnson knows what she likes.
So he's also told her, you're way prettier than most of the girls at school and stuff. But maybe he's not as experienced as I thought. Because, you know, I was
18.
I was considering that maybe his mum was onto them because he's got a history of boning older women.
Maybe he's a virgin.
But yeah, I'm
He's acting
starting
like
to
a
think
virgin.
that maybe he's never done it before. Because as much as
That
she
would explain his
focuses on his
behaviour.
butt, we get like 5 pumps and he's done.
Yeah, and then he's like, that was amazing. Maybe for you, mate.
Yeah, and
She does seem to enjoy it, though.
she does. But I was
Yeah.
thinking, I was like, great, so you've just ruined all your other social relationships for 5 pumps.
No, because then they're sitting down together. She's like, look, we can't do this again. And he says, why not? And she says, because I'm old enough to be your mother. I don't think she is. They're about the same age, aren't they? Then she says, you made me feel young again. Frills Johnson is at it. She's on fire. Ice Cream Man's here now with a knife. They've got to run away from him. Max is like, I'll distract him and go a really stupid way and just get caught by the Ice Cream Man and be offed. She goes to hide in the Ice Cream Man's van.
That's a smart place to
What a shitty
hide.
place. Obviously, the ice cream man comes and she manages
To his own truck.
she grabs his modified scoop, right, and stabs him in the neck or something. Then he's like, whore. He's right, isn't he? She is a whore. Doesn't like that. Now, once again, I've said that Miss Fields Johnson has seen only a few movies in her lifetime, clearly. And one of the horror movies that she would have seen, at the end, she would witness the final girl walking away in like a trance because of everything that she's been through, kind of thing. She's just killed the ice cream man. So she leaves the truck, and for ages, she walks away in a distant trance because she's really been through it. Actually, she hasn't been through anything. Nothing has happened to it in the film.
No.
Apart from, telling the boy it's not a good idea.
Yeah, all she did with the ice cream man or truck or whatever the whole movie is every now and then she'd see him drive past me like, he's kind of creepy. But that was it. There's been no build-up of fear or tension. Completely random. I don't know why this ice cream truck thing was even in there, because clearly Megan Fields Johnson just wanted an erotica thing with her ideal young man.
I'm definitely giving Fields Johnson too much credit here. Maybe the ice cream man could be like the representation, manifestation of Mary's, dangerous thoughts. There's nothing more dangerous than killing people. And she's a married woman of two, twice married. And here she is, about to blow it again, literally. She's finished walking away in a daze from the ice cream truck. It's like the next day or something. A family have arrived. So she's all dressed like a good housewife, isn't she?
Honey, you're home.
Yeah, and she embraces her children, embraces her husband, talks about the moving people and stuff like that. And then the nosy neighbour, she's like, oh, your family's back. I trust you could keep yourself entertained in the house while you were alone. And Mary's like, oh yeah, there are lots of things you can do to keep yourself entertained while your family's away. Yeah. And they walk into the house, a happy family again, but outside, it's the mover man lurking, smoking a cigarette. Dangerous. And of course, because Mary is a writer, this has actually just been her sitting in her house as she had writer's block, and this is just her story. This is what she's been thinking. Because Max is now walking down the street with Tracy, and he's like, welcome to the neighbourhood. None of it actually happened.
It was all just her writing.
Did you get that? Did you catch that?
Oh, it almost went over my head, but I just about managed to catch it. So basically, Mary is Megan. Megan is Mary.
Yeah.
And she probably was commissioned, both the character and the real life person, to write a horror movie or horror story. And she was like, okay, fine, so I guess I'll put some ice cream killer guy in there. But I'm definitely going to get my shagging in there too. Yeah,
because nothing has any connection. Nothing has any meaning. And I don't mean like a comment on nihilism. It just doesn't mean anything. And, she's, like I said, she's seen a few movies. Surly Strangers, Topless Kids, and a Killer. She loves Desperate Housewives. She's not getting any at home. Was preying on young boys. And she's pining for the days of 50 Shades. Now let's just get a picture of her up here. I looked her up. That is a female predator, if ever I saw one. If I was casting the female Harvey Weinstein, I need look no further. Now, it's somehow the number one pick for both of us this week from the year 2024 Founders Day, which is somewhat of a rip-off of the Eli Roth movie. Was it Thanksgiving? Has quite a lot of similarities
I hated this movie.
I hated this film too. And like I said, when we watched it first this week, I was convinced it was going to come bottom. But, like I said, life hits you with surprises, and modern day horror is in the toilet, especially the slasher genre. Now, we've got a bunch of characters here. They work in a cinema. So we open on the cinema. There's a character called Adam, one of the boys, one of the Gen Z boys, right? He's Faulkner's son, Faulkner, who's running for mayor against Gladwell in the town. He's manager of the cinema. His ex, Lily, is working there, and she's getting off with other employee, Donahue, on the counter. So
a bit unprofessional.
Gen Z Adam, the manager, walks over to him. He's like, pretty much, like I just said, hey, this is pretty unprofessional. And Donahue's like, go away. She's mine now. Lily's like, no. He's right. We're sorry. We'll get back to the popcorn. So that's what we open with. Now we're introduced to some other Gen Zs, right? And this is when it gets really Gen Z, because what we've got is a black girl and a redhead white girl. They're a young lesbian couple, and when I say young, I mean it makes me sick. I don't want to see young children, or people who at least look like young children, making out on screen. Well, this is why Hollywood gets like a pervy reputation. It's also the reason I stopped watching Chucky the TV series. We went through season 1, if you remember.
Oh yeah, I do recall.
Then we
this.
only got through either 1 or 2 episodes of season 2 because just 14-year-old kids are getting off with each other, whether they're gay kids, lesbian kids, trans kids, regular kids, whatever you want to call them. I was like, who is this for? Because it's a Chucky movie. It should be for adults. It's about a killer doll. And yet you've got 14-year-old kids making out with each other. It just makes me uncomfortable because I just don't want to see it. This is why it's so much better when you have like the 90s slashes, or go back to the 70s and the 60s where you have adults playing teens.
Is that why teachers would roam the corridors being like, get away from each other? Don't want to see that.
Yeah, I see that now, yeah. So, this is right on, and if there's anything that I hate, because it ruins everything, it's PC culture. And today, PC culture is called woke. And if you're woke, you're just pretty stupid, aren't you? You can't think for yourselves. Because there's always been representation in all movies. I don't know what people have been watching back in the day, but it certainly weren't watching the movies that I was watching. So all this representation bollocks it's so obvious when they're doing it, isn't it? We've got to have a black girl with a red head, white girl. Why is it always a redhead as well? Why? What is it? It's in adverts too. So I hate anything right on. And what's even worse is, we're watching some horror documentaries recently, and there was a writer who was like, oh my god, when I saw that the final girl looked like me, she was black, I was like, oh my god, I couldn't believe it. Why is she a writer? If she can't imagine herself in any role unless someone's the same colour as her, then she clearly has no imagination. I didn't watch Kenan and Kel when I was a kid and say to myself, oh, I can only be Chris, the convenience store owner, because he's white, and Kenan and Kel are black. And I can't be Ken Foray, the coolest man in the world, because he's also black and bald, and I'm not bald. So, how am I supposed to be these people? These people are fucking stupid. Talking of fucking stupid, when they're making out on the bridge, for some reason, Melissa has brought a lock with her. So she locks Alison's jeans to the bridge. And while they're making out, a car shows up, shines their beams at them. Then we get the first instance of girl bossing. Melissa's not very happy about this beam.
This was so annoying. She was like, oh my god, yeah, we're about to lick each other's clits. You want to watch? You want a front row seat? Huh?
Yeah.
Huh? And she's
You
like,
want to bring it, bro? We were knee deep in each other's pussies, bro.
walking towards it. It's like, is that really the smartest thing to do?
Probably
Probably not.
It's pathetic when like a male character earns like that. I don't know why Hollywood Bunch try to put very male behaviour on women and think it looks cool.
But genderless, whatever it is, it's just stupid. And it doesn't make her likeable. And lo and behold, someone gets out of the car,
Yeah, the killer.
starts beating her over the head, and eventually chucks her over the side of the bridge. And I turned to you at this point and I said, I'm so glad she's dead, because I can't
Thank
watch
God.
any more of her. The surviving girl, the direction she was given was a bit annoying, but I actually didn't mind her. The main girl, Alison. Yeah.
No, I thought she was shit. Why has she brought a padlock to the bridge?
It's one of those bridges like in Paris when you put a padlock of love.
But you don't hook people to it.
No, that was really stupid.
Just put your padlock on it. Angie gets away as the killer's coming towards her, and she runs into a bunch of like placard wielding mobs, and she gets in the middle of them shouting that so and so's been killed, Melissa's been killed, and they all just surround her, and then we get the title card, Founders Day.
This is so stupid. You know, in one of the scary movies, and she's like, huh? What do you want? What do you want? And she's spinning round and round. I was getting complete that vibe for this scene, because you've got, it's like a group of people, but it's not even massive. And they're clearly just extras being like, oh, should I move here in this space and do this? And she's there like,
Yeah, and the camera's drifting away from her from above. Yeah.
Oh my god,
So
what an over-the-top moment.
we've got to ask, how long has it been since she got attacked on the bridge? Because it's the next day and she's already been to school, and her father, Mr. Chambers, finally shows up and embraces his daughter Alison. He's like, I'm so glad you're all right. What happened? I was like, where have you been?
Yeah, so she must have just not been home all night, decided to go straight from this happening to school, and then she finally is like, oh, hey, Dad. I'm sorry, what now?
Yeah. Then we have a great homage. It's the Scream fake-out school corridor scene. Remember when Nev Campbell's just been attacked and someone dresses Ghostface and just runs around this corridor? You know, Stu's really liking it. He's like, look at this place, it's like Christmas. We get an homage to that, don't we? With Brittany and her boyfriend. They're the bad couple of the school. And then they're about to attack Alison with their knife, but it's just a collapsible knife, and everyone's having a laugh except for the teachers.
Yeah, again, super over the top. This is just ridiculous.
And of course, if Alison wasn't already traumatised, now she's probably doubly traumatised.
Yeah, but there's a nice professor who steps in, gives the baddies like detention or some shit, and is like, Alison, are you okay?
Yeah, so the teacher's just given them detention for pulling this prank. Like you say, Alison's already been through it, but that hasn't stopped her handing in her report on time. And the teacher's so happy about this because she's about to graduate. He's like, I'm gonna miss these. Sorry, at that point I was like, he is the killer. His first appearance in the movie, and I just got it. It's just so easy to read.
Yeah, anyone they make into that good of a guy, you're like, well, clearly that's the one then, isn't it?
Talking about representation, aren't we lucky that Mr. Faulkner, Adam's dad, has got an Asian wife? Because if he didn't, I'd be like, well, where's the Asian representation in this film? How do you expect you to sit through this? How are they supposed to relate to? A little bit about Mr. Faulkner. He's a politician going up against Mayor Gladwell. Mentioned that Adam, the manager of the cinema, is his son. Mm-hmm. But, you know, Mr. Faulkner's too into his job, ain't he? So Adam goes and knocks for Alison. Mr. Chambers answers the door. He's friendly. He's like, come on in. So Adam is now sitting at the table with Mr. Chambers and Alison, and he's complaining about his powerful white father, because obviously he's a complete wrong'un. And he's like, you know, lately it just seems like my father cares more about... And then Mr. Chambers interjects and he's like, his campaign than his family. Oh, I'm sorry, I spoke out of turn. And then Adam's like, no, you're right. You're right, Mr. Chambers. And the acting of Mr. Chambers reminds me of like, you know, The Bold and the Beautiful or something like that. It's just incredibly poor.
Also, I don't think we've mentioned the... Alison's girlfriend, the redhead who gets
Melissa.
thrown over the bridge, that's her brother as well. Melissa and the manager of the cinema thing.
And Faulkner,
sibling.
Mr. Faulkner just doesn't give a crap about his daughter, does he?
Well, she's
a tearaway.
Just been like killed and chucked off a bridge, and he's like, right, so the campaign.
Yeah. You know, this is supposed to be just a fun slasher. I don't want to hear about your moronic agenda aimed at simpletons. You know, white person powerful, he dangerous. So forth, right? And of course, single black father correct about everything.
But I just hated all the acting in this.
Yeah, it's terrible.
The existing mayor, that woman,
Gladwell.
I wanted to slap her.
She was Eddie Furlong's peep interest in Brain Scan. Yeah, she's all grown up now. And she's the mayor.
And annoying.
Now, talking of aimed at simpletons, a text message appears across the screen now, one of my ultra pet peeves in new movies, and it's to Adam at the dinner table. And guess what? Party is still on, and he's going, ooh, a Gen Z party. Let's drink responsibly. Don't forget to recycle. Watch your language. And for the love of God, if anybody misgenders Billy, I will make a lip sync TikTok dance expressing my hurt feelings.
I like it. So we've had TikTok generation Johnny, and
They're
we've
all
had
getting it.
housewife Johnny.
Yeah, fuck them all. So Adam goes to the party. Adam's ex, Lily, is there. Lily, who was getting off on the counter with Donahue. And Lily's like, oh my God, I just want to, can I? And yeah, they hug. They're hugging. And she's like, why do you keep leaving me unread? Ooh, drama? He's not reading her text messages. You know, she's a complete twat. He's a pussy. And the new boyfriend's a badass. He's just watching on, isn't he? Them hugging. Drinking a beer. There's only like 4 people at this party, and it's over after like 1 beer. 1 beer and a hug, and it's done.
Well, we've seen this in many American film that, you know...
Party sucks, bro.
They can only handle 1 drink.
Yeah.
If that.
Donahue goes to the bar after this, but he's underage. So he like tries to take a swing at the local town sheriff, and the sheriff owns him. Pins him down, like, get out of here, Donahue. Now there's a text alert at the cinema where Lily still is, and she's working there. It's Adam texting Lily, and he says, I really thought it was gonna be us. And then she replies across the screen, it still can be. I'm wearing your sweatshirt. Yeah. Lily is a game-playing cunt, isn't she? She's like, oh my God, ex-Adam, I really care about you. Just let me hug you. But let me just... With Donahue on the counter in the cinema, right in front of you.
You're completely...
And then pretend I'm sorry.
You're completely correct. I just wasn't expecting you to use that term.
One of my favourite
because we
words.
find out that she was in the relationship with that guy, and then she cheated on him with the new guy.
Donahue.
And that's why they broke up. So it's completely her fault. And now she's still making out in front of him on the counter at work, and then texting like, "We can still be something." Like, what are you doing?
He's
woman?
leaving her unread again, isn't he? He's just planting the seed there. He's like, I thought it was gonna be us. Not gonna read what you reply.
He's actually brilliant mind games to get back.
It's a saying for a reason, you know, lads. Leave him on unread because treat 'em mean, keep 'em keen. They'll always keep coming back because what
It's
they
a challenge
want
for her
is
now, isn't it?
attention. Yeah. Adam's
But yeah,
winning this
she is a
war.
wrong 'un. What the hell is she doing? Unacceptable.
While she's cleaning up in the cinema, the two people who've done the fake out kill in the corridor, their names are Tyler and Brittany, the couple, they now try to do another fake out on Lily and pretend to go and kill her, but she's bought pepper spray, so she pepper sprays Tyler in the face, and he's like, I need some milk, I need milk, because this is also a horror comedy. Did you get that? Did you get the
Yeah.
comedy in this?
I got what
it
they
was
were
great,
trying.
wasn't
anyway.
it?
Yeah.
Do you have some milk? After that cringe-worthy comedy scene, is another text alert. Texts are just flying in left, right, and centre.
Well, yeah.
Lily has been left unread by Adam, so she sends a final third message. But before she can send it, or see if she's been left on unread, the battery goes. And how do I know? Because the boop, 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 an empty battery sign flashes up on the cinema screen.
Do you know what's really cracking me up? You keep saying unread.
Yeah.
But that's not what it is. She said he's left her on red.
That's what I thought they were saying, but I was like, no, surely they mean unread. Because
No.
what does unread mean?
Because on some
this some Gen Z slang that I wouldn't get?
people's settings, it says at what times one read your message. So he's read her message and then not replied. That's what it
Well,
means when you left someone on red.
You know, I've got a phone from the evil Apple Corporation.
But
That's not what happens on my phone.
Even though you're, you know, Housewife and TikTok Jen have been spot on, you've outed yourself when you say unread.
But it makes more sense than unread, or it just makes the same sense. It means
Mm-hmm.
the same thing, doesn't it? So, yeah, I win again.
Well, it doesn't, but yeah.
I win again. Now that Lily's been faked out, it's time for the real killing. The killer shows. On the screen, it's the Let's All Go to the Lobby song and get ourselves a treat. And the killer kind of like stabs Lily in the hand or something like that. Then he pours broken glass on the floor, makes her crawl through it, and slits her throat. Thank God Lily's dead.
Cheating
Just
Paul.
kill them all. Adam, after going to Alison's, he stayed the night.
Yeah.
And he's made the biggest mistake of his life. He's cried in front of a girl. Never cry in front of a girl. They say they want you to open up to them, but they don't really. They all hate it.
Well, she's also...
They're lesbians, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, and his sister's ex. I think he's
Well-
not going to go there.
This is Gen Z.
Like hamsters.
Adam's father, Faulkner, finally comes to pick up Adam, and he scolds Adam. He's like, don't you know I've got a campaign to prepare for? Then he also scolds Mr. Chambers, Addison's father. He's like, you couldn't have told me that he was here? And that's fair enough, really, isn't it?
Yeah, but they've clearly got some kind of history and some beef, which I never really fully understood why.
When he scolds both of them, his own son and Mr. Chambers, if I hadn't worked out already, guess what? Mr. Jackson, the teacher, pops up from behind a tree. hey fellas, I'm just here behind a tree for no reason.
Bit of a warning
nothing to
sign.
suspect here. Then there's a bit of beef between Faulkner and Gladwell. We're starting to get introduced to Gladwell, the mayor, and she's got an assistant called Oliver. Remember Oliver with the specs? He's also the director
Oh,
of
God.
this film.
I recognise him as well. I don't know him from. I've definitely seen him in something.
Tyler and Brittany, after 2 fake outs, they're now in detention for the original fake out. And they're like, let's fuck on the teacher's desk. So in true Gen Z manosphere brainwashing style, Tyler gets on top of Brittany on the table and he's like, who's the apex? Who's the alpha? Tell me I'm the alpha. And then he can't get his jeans off and he has again like one pump, doesn't he?
Yeah, this was...
Yeah. And then the killer comes and gavels him in the head,
Uncomfortable.
then chases Brittany. She's hiding underneath the bleachers and she also gets the gavel in the head.
Also, the killer's mask was not good. It was really stupid.
I didn't think it was awful. I didn't hate it. or
I didn't
anything.
like it. I thought
No.
it was just like out of place, ridiculous. I think it would have made more sense because they went with the whole like old school white powder wig thing, didn't they? But then the face
And a gavel.
and a gavel.
He's the judge.
Exactly. But they've done some like weird, completely inhuman mask thing, and I think it would have made it more effective to go
Almost
with a
like
simpler
it's designed melted candle wax or something.
Yeah, or like a big hunk of wood that's been carved or something.
So, in this little town where Mayor Gladwell is indeed the mayor, there's like a town celebration that's due to go forward, but because of the killings in town, she has to call a town meeting, and she's like, look, it's still going to go forward even though there's been killings and there's a killer on the loose. But Donahue's there at his speech. He comes across a dumpster and he notices Lily, Gladwell's daughter, in the dumpster. He goes running to the sheriff, tells him, and then Oliver, Gladwell's assistant, runs up to her. He's like, oh, you cut this speech short because I think we're going to be offing the town celebrations because your daughter is dead. Alison's back at school. It's empty. She goes to her classroom, and Adam, Faulkner's son, is writing weird stuff on the chalkboard dressed in the killer's cloak.
Right, that was it. Because we got even from the bridge, when the first character was offed, we've had like weird messages. And we also see in her locker with a picture of the two of them, Alison's locker, that Megan...
It's like Valentine.
Had written like, roses are red, violets are blue, I love you. And so it was like...
Well, how long that took to write.
It was so, and Alison mentions at some point that Megan would write to her in these weird little
code.
ditty type things, and that's what we keep seeing everywhere. But yeah, now it's Megan's brother, whatever you said his name is, in the
Megan?
costume. Yeah, Alison and Megan.
No, Melissa.
You guys get it, right? Yeah, you get it. But it's the brother, the son of...
Yeah, Adam Faulkner. Faulkner's son. So he then... She's like, Alison freaks out.
He's writing a ditty on the blackboard.
She runs out of the classroom. Adam's in hot pursuit.
It's not what it
Luckily
looks like.
for Alison, her dad's there, Mr. Chambers, and he's got his stake, and he just stakes Adam through the chest.
Yeah.
And Adam starts dying on the floor, and who pops out from the school entrance? It's the teacher again. He's like a meerkat.
And everyone likes this guy, by the way. We've
Mr.
been told
Jackson.
that.
Yeah, everyone loves Mr. Jackson. He's a gentle soul, isn't he? He's down with the kids as well. Now, because we're halfway through the movie, a lot's gone on, we get a fake style montage transition. Do you remember, with the really cool music in the background? Oh, how could you forget it? Anyway, it ends with Faulkner throttling Mr. Chambers for having killed his son Adam. But he was like, well, he was chasing my daughter. I had no other choice, kind of thing. Now introduced to Commissioner Judith, who ends every interaction with, because this is a comedy, a joke. She was hilarious, wasn't she? You know, the rotund lady police
I know.
commissioner.
She was always putting something in her mouth.
She slyly accuses Mr. Chambers of being the killer because he's just off Adam at night time. So she calls Mr. Chambers back in for one more question. He leaves his daughter Alison in the car. When she's in there, bad boy Donahue jumps in, and it's a jump scare. But he's like, no, I just need to play sustain because the cops are going to think that I'm the one that killed Lily. So they kind of team up. They drive off in the car just as Mr. Chambers is running out, saying, hey, where the hell are you going? So he jumps in the sheriff's car, and they are in pursuit. Yeah. After Mayor Gladwell has been informed that her daughter is dead, she gets a bit drunk. And she makes a speech in front of like all of her delegates and some important townspeople and stuff like that. When she's finished making this drunk speech, she walks into her office and Faulkner is sitting in her chair in there in the dark. And he turns around and he's like, I found all the kickbacks that you've been taking. And she's like all drunk or whatever. And he's like, your little circle jerk is over. I've also noticed that the only reason that you've won past elections is because stupid women are like, oh, we need a woman in power, so let's just vote for a woman. I like the comments that they're making here. The reason this movie got number one is solely because of this scene and this kill. This was the one thing I thought that was done reasonably well, even though they're not being very subtle with their messaging. I like the messaging of them both just taking pot shots at each other because they both just lost a kid. And they still can't find any common ground. Instead, Faulkner's like, oh, my son would still be alive if your daughter wasn't such a little slut. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree, does it? And then she has a dig at him about his dead son. I'm just like these little pot shots that they're taking at each other, which politicians do in real life anyway. And this whole circle jerk thing, that's true of all governments, also true of Hollywood. They're all just circle jerking it and they tapping each other on the back. Great job. How great are we? Let's sniff our own farts.
I just find this kind of political thing so boring to watch because, yeah, I completely believe that people out there, they are like this.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean I want to watch it. I don't find it entertaining.
Quite mean-spirited because he accuses Gladwell of poisoning his son's mind. It's kind of like a talk on nutty liberals playing in the minds of conservative children. Ooh. And then the killer comes in, and what I also like is he just offs both politicians, both sides. First of all, he's having a go at Gladwell. He gets her, I believe, in the neck with his gavel. Then he takes a placard saying, vote for Gladwell, stabs her a few times in the stomach. She's gone. He comes back for Faulkner. He ends up in the chair, gets a letter opener, and it's like... and he slashes open his face. The one good bit of the film was the slashing.
I thought it was kind of dumb.
You thought it was dumb?
Yeah.
Maybe it was dumb, but it was the best part of this film and probably the best scene of the week. For me. If they had more of this and less of the comedy, it might have been slightly more passable. But they couldn't help themselves, could they? Then I'm kind of getting turned around. I'm like, hang on. The director, he's killed the annoying girl boss at the beginning. He's killed the useless Gen Z people. He's killed 2 politicians. If in fact... Mr. Chambers ends up being the killer instead of the teacher, I'll reevaluate this whole thing. I didn't have to reevaluate, but that's what I was thinking at this point.
Okay, well, you were giving it a lot more space for credit than I ever did.
Yeah, that's why I watched it twice. I guess I had more time to think about it. At the end of the letter opener slashing as well, the commissioner, she walks in and she's killed off screen as the killer runs towards her. So now, guess what? Alison and Donahue, they're in the car, they're teaming up. They go to the bridge. The bridge from the beginning of the film, and once again, like the movie, it looks cheap with a lack of style. In the director's own words, he said, "I've got a big budget movie." I couldn't find out anywhere what the budget was, but it just looks so bland.
Yeah, no, it doesn't look
It has
expensive.
no
It didn't look specifically low budget, but it looked so run of the mill.
Absolutely, the cop car shows the sheriff shows up in his car because they've been in
Yeah.
pursuit. But when the sheriff gets out, Mr. Chambers isn't there and the sheriff has a black eye. Alison's like, well, where's my dad? And he says, oh, he attacked me. I've left him at the house. We better go back. And then he falls over his words. He mentions he's at the house, but then he mentions at the station or something like that.
Yeah.
Alison catches on to this and Donahue then I think shoots the sheriff in the stomach. And by the way, Donahue is also padlocked to the bridge. Because when he takes someone to the bridge in this movie, you better padlock him or cuff him to said bridge. So Alison freaks out and she leaves Donahue there. She drives home. She gets out.
She can't trust anyone.
On the front door, and then further on in the house, the written clues are left. And these clues are violets are blue, roses are red, look under the bed. Oh.
So shit.
So she looks
It's so crap.
She looks under the bed.
Can you imagine sitting down to write Heathen, and you're like,
What'd you think of this, baby?
Roses are red, look under the bed. I'll be like, oh my god. Genius.
I think you'd kick me in the nuts,
what we need.
wouldn't you?
Well, I certainly would make you change it, that's for sure. But
Thing is, you never had to make me change anything, have you?
it made it into this one.
Yeah.
And,
So she...
do you know what bothers me, though, in things like this?
Many things.
Well, that's also true. But in this particular instance, when she's like been left a note by clearly who must be the killer to look under the bed, and they go right up to the edge of the bed, slowly get down on their knees, put their hands down, so they're completely vulnerable, and then to just slowly be like,
Yeah.
It's like the most idiotic way of doing it. And she looks under the bed and she sees what she thinks is the killer.
Person made up as the killer, so without thinking, she just stabs him in the neck. But then he starts muffling. It's Mr. Chambers. Mr. Chambers under the bed, and behind, who is it? Oh my god, it's the girl boss, Melissa. I'm so glad she's back to annoy the fuck out of me. And this is now... So, we've got Alison and Melissa have obviously been a couple.
Yeah.
Melissa is now the killer, revealed to be the killer, and obviously the teacher is also going to be the killer. It's like Scream, isn't it? There are two killers. Melissa is making the speech, the classic killer speech to Alison while she's tied up, and
it was horrendous.
Unwatchable. It is unwatchable.
Disgusting. There's no charm. There's no believability. It's literally like she just watched a bunch of other movies and been like, okay, this is what I'm going to do with it. And I still hated this character and this performance. Ugh.
Yeah, again, I've just got to go. It's just god awful actors, the two of them.
And also, it was completely expected. There was no part of me that was like, oh wait, she's not dead, because yes, I believed in the first scene that she'd been offed. I would have no reason not to believe that. But then as the film went on, I was like, okay, clearly teacher's got something to do with it. It's going to be the ex-dead girlfriend. And, like, especially once the brother was caught, I was like, okay, I mean, that's just made it 100% clear, hasn't it?
It probably goes without saying, but the script of the speech, the dialogue of the speech was atrocious as well. Her performance, her execution of it was absolutely atrocious.
And this whole thing, she kept jumping in with things like, yeah, you're going to die, but, you know, we can always do it one more time,
they're making it
and stuff.
sexy.
It was just, it was
And
terrible.
Did you like the hoax when we go back to her Melissa being killed and she's just a doll actually being thrown off the side of the bridge? Do you like how they did that? Smart, ain't they?
So that we understand what happened, because otherwise we'd be like, wait, but she what?
Yeah, you even get the whole thing where Alison tries to trick Melissa with love. She's like, I still think about you. Stuff like that, don't they?
Yeah.
So cliche. Then out comes Mr. Jackson. First thing I'm writing is, right, when's Mr. Jackson going to kill Melissa? Pretty much instantly. She's gone. He wanders off downstairs. Alison gets free, whatever, or he frees her. Mm-hmm. As she gets down the stairs, Melissa attacks. So Alison like bashes her head against a banister for a while and then cuts her throat. And Melissa just dies for ages. Just die. Don't die for 20 seconds. Mr. Jackson calls the cops himself. And he walks down to Alison and he's like, tell them the truth, just not the whole truth. Because he starts asking her questions from class about political things and stuff like this, doesn't he? And then
So it
kind of
turns
gets
out
into her head.
This was all orchestrated by him so that he could become mayor.
Yeah, because he's like a centrist.
But he didn't commit any of the murders, which is obviously false because he does murder at the end, doesn't he? But he's like, you know, my hands are clean. I just gave people a push for motivations they already had.
And he's nice old Mr.
And
Jackson.
I'm a nice, innocent man
Yeah.
who everybody loves, and I deserve to be mayor. But I didn't understand because I was like, wait, so he's obviously a bad guy because he is the reason all these people are dead.
Mm.
And yet, it seems like Alison does just go along with it.
Of course she does. Yeah, she goes along with it because now we're like a year later.
Yeah.
Further on, and Oliver, who was assistant to Gladwell, now seems to be assistant to Mr. Jackson.
He was
who's
in on the whole thing as
around
well.
it shows him in the room, doesn't it? All of
And
the sheriff,
the sheriff
yeah,
guy.
they've all been killing.
Yeah, they've all been in on the whole thing, yeah.
So Mr. Jackson has Oliver by his side, and Mr. Jackson's walking around like the big cheese of town, isn't he? Seems like he's going to be the mayor or is the mayor. And even Donahue's there, and he's got the bravery award. He doesn't quite know how to take it. He's like, I'm not used to this, being recognised, man. I'm a bad boy. Mr. Jackson's like, you'll get used to it, son. And then Alison is inside making a speech. She's like, I know I am the youngest ever GM, but I will take this as seriously as possible. And then her and Mr. Jackson make dual speeches, the same speech, isn't it? And we just cut between the two of them. And then her dad, Mr. Chambers, stands up at the end of her speech and is like, he mouths, I'm proud of you, I love you. And then Alison, her face changed from glee to Finn.
What?
Ooh,
I
what
don't
a
get
pile
it.
of crap this was.
I don't understand. What is that supposed to mean? And why?
She's having second thoughts,
And how
isn't she?
is-
And also, is Mr. Chambers completely oblivious to what's been going on here? He does seem like an idiot throughout the movie, to be fair.
This
whole
just
thing is
so
stupid.
lazy. It was almost as lazy as the ice cream truck. Right on time, by the way. He might murder us. But I want ice
If I
cream.
have erotic thoughts, yeah.
So definitely.
So 2017, 2024, 2025, without a doubt the slasher is dead, isn't it? We need a new Wes Craven moment to just reinvent the whole thing because what is coming out is absolutely terrible. Netflix has those 3 ones, so Fear Street 1979 or whatever, Fear Street 87, Fear Street 94. You can guarantee they're all crap as well. So yeah, slasher genre, absolutely dead on its arse.